Rod, do you want to take it?
Sure. Hey, what's going on? We are back. ACES Collegiate League, Rod and Max. You already know what it is. And we are having a very, very awesome time here with all this action. We had a couple interviews and a really close, nail-biting match. I mean, probably the closest one that we've had since the series has started. But, of course, that's not the pinnacle, because if that was that intense, and you know it's only going to get better from there. Max, talk to me, man. How you feeling?
I think that was a great way to open up the night for sure. Shout out to both the Greenville and Campbellsville Academy teams. I mean, you know, you can't ask for more than a last hit, last stock, last player game in a crew battle, right? So things definitely went down to the wire, and we saw Campbellsville come out on top. So they're looking pretty good, man. Like, that's effectively their B team, right? Like, the varsity Campbellsville squad is considered stronger within their circles. So got some high expectations on them as well. But man, just good gameplay overall. I think both teams, you know, had a reasonable shot at taking that. We could see a rematch from them coming up in, what is it? Let's see what week they're actually set to rematch. Wow, it's quite deep down here. I'm just trying to find it. But yeah, they will eventually rematch at some point in the series, I believe. Actually, maybe no. Oh yeah, they will. The last match of the entire series is a run back between them. So they do. Greenville does still have a chance at redemption. So it's not completely over. You know, they could still make it 1-1 in between them. But yeah, basically, shout out to all 6 of those players that we just saw, because they did a phenomenal job. And we're gonna have some more great Smash coming up for you now. It's gonna be Western Colorado, the lone Western team in the bracket, versus the St. Francis Red Flash. Most of the schools in this bracket, with the exception of Western Colorado, and I think it is actually Campbellsville, are all from PA. And I think Campbellsville is Kentucky.
Yeah, I believe so. And this is going to be a really good one. I believe we got a chance to see both of these two play, or Western Colorado for sure. Did we see St. Francis last week? Oh, hold on a second. I got it up in front.
Yeah, we did. We saw everyone other than those 2 teams.
That's right. And yeah, Western Colorado has, I believe, Fruit Smasher, if I'm not mistaken, right? Is that that team with the ZSS? That was really great.
No, I think that's I think that's Widener or Montgomery. Montgomery has Fruit Smasher.
You're right. Well, regardless, no matter who is on both sides, this is going to be actually a really great treat. I think with both of these 2 teams playing last week, they've had the opportunity to do a little bit more research, you know, on the opposing sides, you know, whether it's YouTube VODs, I'm looking up weeklies, or Twitch VODs, or hell, even Twitter clips sometimes to get the job done. There's some research to be done, and of course, there's some Smash to be played here, so let's get it.
Yep. So the Western Colorado roster is going to be Deegster, Rick John, and the One Doctor, going up against St. Francis, who have Squabby, Julep, and Keed. So we didn't see Keed play at all last week. I guess we did, right? Because I don't think any matches were won by like a 4-0 or 5-0 or 6-0. So I think we saw all the players. But Julep, I remember his banjo was sick. Squabby, I think, is the PT. And Keed is Bowser or some other big body, I believe, on the St. Francis side.
I feel like it was Bowser. I think you're right.
And then we've got Deekster, Rick John, and the One Doctor, which is Falco, Snake, and I think also another Bowser. I'm pretty sure there were 2 Bowsers last week. Either way, this is going to be a good set. Let's see. In the sets that they've already played, St. Francis won by 2 stocks. And Western Colorado also lost to Montgomery County Community College, who are returning, I mean, going back quite a few years, but still returning national champions from Smash 4. So they do have a solid legacy for Smash Bros. At their school. No shame in losing to them. But now we've got a run back. Looks like Wario coming out on the part of Western Colorado, which is, I believe, Deegster. And I also am pretty sure that he played Falco last week. I forget, honestly, which character he used, but it was not Wario for sure. And this is Squabby with Pokemon Trainer.
Oh, most definitely. Opening up the match, eating the Razor Leaf, and just letting them know what type of time I'm working with here. You know, Razor Leaf, again, a very strong combo starter in Ivysaur's arsenal. Oh my god, wow. And that is just like some day one ultimate stuff right there. Like, that just never gets old. The F smash at the ledge, it has claimed the lives of way too many.
Yeah, that move is very hard to answer. It beats almost every option coming off the ledge, but we've got a quick response from Deegster, evening it right back up. Okay, gonna get that neutral air. If you hold away from that move, by the way, it almost never links into itself. So that's the tech. to get away from Wario's neutral air and all the combos that can follow up from it. I think a lot of people in Ultimate are still just like habitually holding in because they don't want to die, but you gotta hold out, especially in this game. Like, you will get auto comboed by anything. So if it doesn't kill you, make sure you're DIing away from it.
Once more there, another Razor Leaf up on that platform. Never a good spot to be. Literally with both of these two characters, if they're up underneath you, it's best to get the heck out of the way and fast. And fortunately enough, able to get out of the way of harms with that up air. Up air, honestly, even like up smash too. Like if you tech in place, you know, and it catches that get up animation, you could be in some trouble.
Okay, we're gonna see the forward throw, put him right on the ledge, but no patented forward smash edge guard there. I like Deekster just backing off towards center stage, trying to catch a roll maybe, but not overcommitting. Got to play very carefully when you're at 140% against a killing machine like Ivysaur, and there we go. Got to respect up air on the way back to the stage. This character, like you said, Rod, so dangerous from underneath you, and Wario is too, but the kill power on Ivysaur's up air, oh man.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Wario's is more like combo stuff. You know, I'm looking for that into like possibly, you know, my waft or so on and so forth. But Ivysaur's is definitely a home run every time. And the way it hits and the way it lands certainly feels that type of way. But I got to say, man, when Ultimate first came out, if there was a character that really like made me like, yo, I need to start learning how to land and fast, it was playing my buddy's Ivysaur, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm still running off of Brawl memory. Like, this character was not like this back in the day. What is going on?
Yeah, Ivysaur was definitely trash in Brawl. Caught a fat glow up coming into Ultimate. Pretty similar, like, in terms of what you have to look out for, but just how much you have to look out for it has certainly gone up. And now we have a very scary situation for both players. I would just say for Wario, but of course he's got a full waft locked and loaded. You could see soft up tilt. We could see second hit of neutral air. We could even see landing up air, all combo into death right now. And take St. Francis's lead away from them. Don't let the percents fool you. Wario broken in crew battles for this exact reason.
Oh, hell yeah. And see, this is exactly what I was talking about. Letting him know early on what type of time he's working with. He knew that there might have been a chance we got one stock, and I might be in a deficit. That's okay percent-wise. I got waft. You're going to have to approach me. Razor Leaf ain't going to work. I'm just going to eat those.
Oh, man, this is so intense. Oh, catches him with forward air, just not enough juice. And he armors all the way through the dash attack, eating it up, extending the hitbox on the bike. That was just such a grimy setup. You might see Wario hiding behind the bike and be like, oh, man, I got to rush him down. But, of course, it comes at the cost of your life. It's got armor. It's got the extra hit lag and hitbox extension on the bike. We're going to see the first game go the way of Western Colorado. That's just why you play Wario and Cruz, man. Wario and Lucario, two characters you never want to be without in this kind of format.
No, absolutely not. And that's exactly what I was like, look, something is telling me that we're going to get like a one stock. Wario has 1 billion%. The other side might not have as many, you know, Deekster, Squad. I mean, very two talented players, but regardless of how you might think it goes in singles crew battles, the narrative is always slightly different because it's really a game of survivability and really more than anything manageability. You know, not only fighting for yourself, but you're taking a page out of Ike's book. You know, you're also fighting for your friends. So when I look at, you know, both of those two, I'm like, I feel like Razor Leaf is not going to help here, but I do like the attempt. Wario started eating them, and then of course we seen what happened.
Man. I just can't stress enough that is one of the best strengths of this character in this format. Though, you know what? I'm not sure if the just a quick question for production, since you guys can hear me. Just let us know in the chat. Is the player highlighted in green the player that's in? Because if so, that would mean that was the one dog. Okay, never mind. It was Deekster starting. Okay. Yeah, either way, props to both of those players. I mean, that was super close. We could have seen Swabby take it at any time. You just got to find the kill on Wario, and it's so hard because he's got such great aerial drift. He's also got a high weight value. Not the highest, even though he's a chonker. It's like, you know, he's got a only slightly heavier than average weight, but he can just keep himself away from killing them so well using his drift.
Yeah, and honestly, all those little attributes really go the distance, you know, in the long run. Like when you see, you know, the ability to last forever, when you see the ability to, you know, use bike to build up these types of walls. And then, of course, you know, just because of your command grab, your ability to take away your opponent's approach option. And really, in a situation like that, they're only real safe one, because anything else, you run the risk of getting wafted. I mean, you could maybe go for like fall away forwarder. I mean, those limbs, those vines last, or they go a pretty far distance away from Ivysaur's body. but I still wouldn't risk it though. Like Rage Leaf is certainly your way in, and when you lose that, what really are you to do?
Yeah, you have to be very careful. I think maybe even a Pokemon Switch would have been in order. Just to have Charizard close out that last stock, you know what I'm saying? He's got the raw kill power on so many random moves. Could be forward air, back air, up throw. I just think, you know, Charizard is the Pokemon that you switch to when you need to take a stock in a pinch. And Ivysaur, like, he's definitely got those grimy mid-percent kill setups, and I think that's really good against Wario because you don't want to let him overstay his welcome and live too long and build waft, etc. But yeah, sometimes you just need to call on the big boys to answer a fellow big boy. Hey, look, my screen is the game.
There you go.
Fire. Shout out to Ian on production. Yo, we are always gaming, Rod. If there's one thing you got to know about me, that's what I do.
That's right. All right, and both of these two players certainly getting ready to game here. Now, of course, just by the rules of crew battles, you got to go ahead and jump off the stage. That's right. Lose both of those 2 stocks. And now you're going up against a Zelda. Now, again, fret not, friends. Yes, this is a competitive environment. Yes, Zelda can get the job done. And why is that? Well, because the name of the game is Crew Battle. That's right. And Zelda certainly knows how to last a long time, knows how to manage some percent, knows how to just to build up a wall. And let's just be honest, Max, we've been commentating enough Zelda, you know, just throughout our time in Smash. She just knows how to be annoying. And that goes a long way in a crew battle.
Yeah, of course. I mean, no disrespect to the player whatsoever. I believe this is Keed, by the way, Qeed, on the side of St. Francis, because Julep we saw is the banjo, and that's the last player in the back. So, yeah, of course, when we say a character's annoying, has, you know, zero bearing on the player outside of the game, but being annoying can win games, and that's what Zelda's got to do. Stay on the other side of the screen from you, set that Phantom up, throw some Din Spires, make you want to approach, and then she has excellent options to stuff that out, like her neutral being Nehru's Love that just, you know, has partial invincibility, has a giant hitbox all around her. She's really tough to get in on.
Oh yeah, I mean, coming from somebody like myself who plays, you know, another Legend of Zelda character, I mean, a good chunk of them all have a very similar approach when it comes to neutral. You know, you kind of wall out, keep them away. You know, I guess with the exception of maybe Sheik for a good part of the neutral, and of course Ganon just needs some help in general because what the hell. But speaking of needing help right here, Zelda, get Link on the phone ASAP. Back air just closed that one out, and things are looking really good right now for Western Colorado. Okay, back up off the ledge. Very good.
Okay, Neighbor's Love gonna put him on the platform on the side right there. Oh, no waft quite yet. I think he realized that it probably wouldn't kill on a big stage like this at that percent, but next soft up tilt or landing up air is going to be curtains for yet another stock on St. Francis's side.
Yeah, most definitely. Cannot run that risk at all. Certainly need to be well aware of just kind of what's at hand right now. And I still think, you know, with the way this, you know, Zelda's being played right now, certainly like how it's done. You know, you build up that wall. Of course, Zelda, she's not all about the projectiles in the long-range game, too. She can jump in on you with an aerial. And I'm not just talking like forward air and back air. Like, what she can do out in there, what she can do out of a throw at a low percent is actually kind of marvelous. And so, I mean, definitely working with some, no pun intended, magic here. But then, speaking of magic, looks like Wario's just kind of got expended here. Deekster, what's going on here?
Yeah, that was definitely the X factor. And unfortunately, it's going to be off the table right now. Still a chance to make up, or to rather extend this lead even further. Just got to do it the hard way with one of your regular normal human percent kill moves and not something that gets rid of you at 20, 30, 40%. But we're approaching that. Back throw off the stage, and this is officially dangerous territory. Zelda, a very light character. You could even see something like Chomp at the ledge kill, maybe even Chomp center stage, but yeah, I didn't think so.
Oh my God, a bit of a game of chicken here, Max, if I may say so myself. Just the run-up shield, looking for an option. I'm trying to beat him maybe to the punch right there, but the up air is certainly going to get the job done. If there's one thing about Zelda that we need to know, we got them aerials are very, very dangerous. I'm talking forward air, back air, Nair is a combo starter, up air is a finisher move, hell, even as a combo extender too. So, again, you know, Zelda, she can get the job done by herself.
Yeah, she's definitely got a lot of KO power behind her moves. The issue is really just that they're either slow or they have kind of small hitboxes on them, but she still really does pack a punch. And we saw Keed almost dropping a second stock in that game. Would have been pivotal and put Western Colorado at a massive lead, but instead it's going to be 5-6. So nothing they can't come back from. Just got to win a 2-stock to 3 game, or at least, bring it down to the other player's last stock, the incoming player's last stock, for this to remain competitive. So Rick John and the one doctor remaining on the Western Colorado team, I believe it's going to be Rick John coming out next, just based on the order they have, but anything could change. Of course, they are not locked into the order that they go in at. The players have just kind of given us a loose idea of when they want to come in.
But it is subject to change at the just at their own liking, and that's the beauty of the crew battle. Of course, I can readjust and adjust once more, and hell, 3-4 times, a couple more times if you want to. If whatever you feel like you need to get done in terms of who goes in and which character is played, who, what, when, where, and why, it's certainly up to you. And that last match, I mean, who would have thought Zelda? We don't really get to see much Zelda as it is in the community, so to see it played that well at this level with this much on the line, I think really speaks volumes to that side there.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see who it's going to be, though, and which character as well, because we did not see Wario from Deegster last week. I want to say it was Falco. I forget exactly which character he played. But yeah, man.
Yeah, there are a lot of characters up their sleeves. So I'm excited to see who's going to pick who and how it's going to go down. Yes, and if you are feeling that type of excitement too, please let us know in the chat as well too. I just finally pulled it up so I can definitely rock out with you all, so we can finally figure out. Oh, that's right. Deeg played K. Rool. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Deeg played K. Rool. But yeah, I definitely want to rock out because I gotta say there is no hype like college Smash hype. And we've been to a lot of tournaments in our day, Max. But the flat irons, the collegiate, the CSLs, those don't park on the grass, those types of events. That is a different level of just mayhem. And I know we can't quite experience that with each other physically, but you know what, though, we can still get hype in the chat any way we want to.
Absolutely, man. I think, collegiate is one of the underappreciated backbones of the Smash community. Like you said, so many amazing tournaments have occurred on college campuses. And then there's also just, there's been collegiate programs in the past for Melee, Smash 4, Ultimate, and it just really brings that team building and community building aspect out for a lot of people. And also, so many locals occur on college campuses too. So I can't wait for the pandemic to end so we can see that kind of come into play once more in person. But also, it's going to be Rick John coming out for Western Colorado. So he was the Falco. I apologize, guys, for mixing some of you up. I'm still just getting to know all of the players in the league. And it's going to be keyed with Zelda. 2 stocks remaining here. Kalos still the stage pick. Very interesting that Rick John counterpicked to the stage that he'd counterpicked to in the last match.
Yeah, very interesting. A lot of space to work with here. But one thing I talked about last night, I streamed some of the matches from the previous week, and it's about the ability of the Falco has to use that laser and to kind of stop some of these characters that like to set up shot from across the screen, or characters that get a lot off of movement pressure, like Pikachu and ZSS. They get a lot off of just kind of jumping in place, and neutral special kind of shuts that up. But the case here is that I'm also kind of worried for a character like Falco versus Zelda. Some of these hard-hitting attacks, you're off stage, and honestly, Zelda's spike is going to spike you no matter what. There is no sour hit. You're going down.
Yeah. The weak hit still sends you down. Yeah, exactly. And you can tech the wall here, but you got to be close enough for that. Falco's very interestingly kind of sends you out a little bit as well. So maybe we could see Kalos not come into play for teching the stage if Zelda gets dared. Falco has that slight angle to his down air. Oh, whoa, dash attack right into neutral B on the shield. Kind of disrespectful there on Keith's part, saying, hey, I know you're not going to punish this. I know you don't know the Zelda matchup, because who the hell does?
That's right. I mean, you're not wrong. And immediate Nairu's love you to get out of that sticky spot. Double up tilt. This is the Falco calling right here. This is why we know that the bird is indeed the word here. Okay. Great dash attack. Kind of playing some chicken right now. Both sides a little hesitant on coming in, and I don't blame either side for feeling this type of way. You let Zelda overextend a little bit too much on you, and things are going her way. You're going to get caught in the Zelda vortex, but that's not to say that Falco's fails in comparison. Falco's vortex is pretty disgusting too.
Yeah, both of these characters can lay the hurt on you. I think in kind of different ways. Falco just some of the nastiest true combos in the game, like up tilt, up throw, you name it. It'll link into something else.
Okay, jumps, very good. Beating him to the punch right there. Using there, applying some real pressure. There's a downer. Oh, filthy, 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 filthy.
Wow,
great stuff.
Still able to take a stock after backing off there. I think, you know, just because it's online, you saw him land the down air, but he wasn't really sure if he landed it or not. So he buffered a roll in just to maybe like back off and hedge his bets, but still picking up a kill on Rick John here. And now we've got the second player on both teams down to their last stock, but it's going to be Rick John continuing the one stock lead for Western Colorado University here.
Yeah, you know, you really got to tip your hat to the adjustments right there on both sides. I mean, really, you know, the neutral special at that tail end, like, all right, Zelda, you know, Key, here we are, you know, even stocks. Yes, you have more percent, but again, it's a crew battle. You might have something up your sleeve here to bring this back. I'm Falco. I'm pretty easy to combo too. What am I going to do? So, of course, Keith is going to set up those soldiers. Yeah, set them up if you want to. Neutral special kind of just destroys them as they come, depending on how long you've charged them. And so, just seeing that, I feel like might have thrown him off. And then, of course, the back air to close it out right there from Rick John. So, really great. I see a couple people in the chat are very big fans of how that one played out. And honestly, I am too. Not for the sake of, you know, I'm rooting for either side, but, you know, I just like close smash. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. Close games always good to watch. And props to Keed, though, still bringing it down to last stock despite starting with only 2 for himself. So Western Colorado does maintain a 1 stock lead, but of course that's very much doable for St. Francis here. Again, they did defeat them last week, and now it's going to be Julep coming out, who is, for all intents and purposes, probably the ace of the St. Francis team. I mean, his banjo was putting in hella work last week, and I'm glad that we get to see it again.
Yeah, that banjo definitely won our hearts. I was like, oh, like, because, you know, there's only really 2 types of banjos. Like, there's like, oh my God, like, why is this happening? And then there's what we've seen last week where, oh, it's happening and there's nothing we can do about it. And that's the type of banjo I like to see. And that's the type of banjo I hope that continues through this, because, wow, I mean, it's just not every day. And then maybe this could kind of go back around to it being a crew battle. You know, it's just not every day that we get to see all these different types of characters played like this. I mean, have we commentated a good amount of banjo in Smash Ultimate? Sure, but have we commentated a good amount of banjo played like that, though? Hell no, I have not. I haven't.
Yeah, I feel like Banjo's a very underplayed character. He's not the weirdest in the game. You know, he's definitely got like a strange game plan to some degree, and like, you know, some pretty unique moves, but I wouldn't say he's like a Steve, you know what I'm saying, where the character is like almost a mini game to fight and you've really got to adapt to the specifics. Like Banjo, he's got a pretty normal game plan, right? Like he has some standout strange things about him, but I do want to say that like the tier list and matchup experience are kind of inversely correlated, right? So if you play a character that's not considered very good, there's a very low chance your opponent knows how to fight them because they're probably not a popular character. And I think the St. Francis team really benefits from matchup inexperience. Not only do they have Banjo, they also have Zelda, who's certainly an oddball pick. You know, I feel like even if she was high tier, like not a lot of people play her anyway. And I don't think like she'd be picked up in droves if she was a really good character. She's just kind of got that weird game plan. And then Squabby plays PT, who, despite being high tier, is also 3 matchups in 1. So you really got to be dotting your I's, crossing your T's when you fight the St. Francis team, just because they can throw you a curveball for sure. And I'm very interested how that's going to work in a 12-week recurring league where the same teams are playing each other repeatedly, because you'll get that time to adjust to the matchup if you want to sit down and practice it, right? Like you know, maybe hit up somebody in your area who plays Banjo or Zelda or Pokemon Trainer, and then you get that added experience to kind of like make up for it.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. You know, the whole like element of surprise, the whole like I don't play this character, I don't play against this character. That thing only, you know, it only lasts so long. And I mean, it's working well, obviously, as we are now in week 2, but you are correct. And also, too, despite, you know, the character themselves, I mean, there's a plethora of how to fight and how to play Banjo stuff out there. Maybe not so much how to fight that player specifically, but at least if you know how to play against the Banjo, that is a good start to your competitive journey and learning that matchup. But regardless, we got St. Francis and Julep getting ready to throw back down again. And then, of course, Western Colorado's very own Rick John's going to have to, I believe, jump off and lose 2 stocks, right? That one went down to the final.
Yes, sir. All right, so just a slight lead for Western Colorado. They still have player remaining in full health in the back, but it's going to be Julep 3 stocks to 1 right now. So I guess 3 stocks to 4 for their teams respectively. And yeah, I don't know. Banjo versus Falco actually kind of seems like a tough matchup for Banjo because this character, even though he's not like solely defined by his projectiles, oh, maybe wrong stage actually. Even though he's not solely defined by his projectiles, the grenade is still just such a huge part of his game plan. And Falco has the best reflector in the game. Like it extends very far past his body. I believe it starts reflecting projectiles as early as frame 1. Love that.
Hey.
And it sets up for combos. It gets him out of combos if he's holding on to it. Like ideally, Banjo has the grenade in his hands or close to it most of the time. So we'll see how Julep's able to combat that. Like Banjo, of course, has some solid normals. He's got his very safe forward and down tilt. He's got a forward air that can just smack you out of the air. So I think we're going to have to see a different kind of modified game plan.
Yeah, straight up. You know, we talked last week as well about Banjo's normals too. Like the grenade, obviously the projectile gameplay is phenomenal. And that's like really the key part of what makes Banjo, you know, the type of character that he's regarded to as. And also just, you know, the good Banjos know how to convert off of those. But I can't help but to talk about how crazy those normals are. Those normals feel just kind of, I mean, they're not like Falco, like, you know, I got some auto combos and stuff, at least maybe not to the extent of Falco's. But man, like, those normals just feel lagless. And like, I sometimes forget, like, as I'm going blow for blow with Banjo, that, oh, this is not even this type of character's type. Like, this is a projectile character, but their normals are just kind of so ridiculous on shield at times that it doesn't feel that type of way.
Okay, so you saw it right there. The opening mix-up from Julep was to grab the grenade and then throw it down to bait out a reflector. That's kind of an old school trick from like a Brawl Diddy versus Falco. Diddy really being the premier item character in that game when Falco got his reflector changed to the one where he kicks it out. So you would pluck the banana and then entice the Falco to throw out very laggy reflector just by throwing it up or down and not even at them. So yeah, some advanced baits here from Julep. Certainly knows what he's doing against characters that can deal with projectiles.
Yeah, most definitely. Because sometimes, you know, it's not really a matter of, can I throw these? Of course you're going to throw them, but is it, oh no, the bird has cooked themselves. I think that is twice now. Last week, we seen Falco player get caught up underneath, I believe it was Town and City or Smashville, and not ride inside his stage properly.
Yeah.
Wow, that is unfortunate.
You know what? If it was actually Rick John, I'm not sure if it was, but if it was him the first time, that super sucks because the way he died last week, or the way whatever Falco player it was died last week, was by going out instead of straight up. And this time he tried to actually go straight up inside for it. I'm pretty sure, if memory serves. I've been watching a lot of Smash, so it could just be, you know, a completely different match that I'm thinking of. But regardless, it's going to be now 3-3. Got the one doctor who I believe is a Snake player coming out as the anchor for Western Colorado, going to go toe-to-toe with Julep. And we were just saying at the end of the last set how it's kind of rough for Snake to fight against other zoners, right? But Banjo is like not the same kind of deal as like a Samus, like a very traditional projectile base. Like, all right, I'm throwing this out and then I'm throwing this out behind it.
Sure.
Banjo pretty much just has that grenade and the kind of underwhelming Regal Blaster, the Blicky with the eggs. So I don't know. This is going to be very interesting. I would say that Snake is probably favored in the matchup, but I can see how it's annoying for him.
Yeah, and I also think, you know, Banjo's projectiles too are really just more for like conversions, where Samus's are more like, hey, you know what, I'm kind of tired of fighting hand to hand. I'm gonna go over here, you know, and do what I do best. So yeah, I agree. You know, it's really gonna be a matter of like, you know, can I really get in, you know, on a character like Snake? Snake, of course, sets up projectile traps. Just really sets up a wall. Probably is the best, as you know. I don't even know honestly if anybody could really set up a wall quite like Snake. It's well the right type of Snake, you know, because it's one thing to, you know, throw projectiles aimlessly, but to know what you're doing is completely different. But this is just really going to be a daunting task. But you know, if history repeats itself, I'm just looking at how Julep played last week. Granted, there really wasn't much match to play when Julep did play. I think Julep came out at the tail end. I think Julep might be okay here, but I'm still curious to like see the science of Banjo Snake because I don't think I've ever commentated it before.
Yeah, I can't think of a time that I have either. Again, kind of an underplayed character, and also like, Banjo came out what, September 2019,
I think so.
something like that. So we did have like a full year of the character being out where he just didn't really see a lot of play. Or I'm sorry, wait, not a full year. Jesus, only a few months of the character being out, and thus we didn't get to see too much of it. So what I really meant to say was we've seen a full year of him not being able to be played in real life. But whoa, Little Mac!
What the heck is going on here? The Mac attack is here. Chat, let me know what's going on here. I mean, I'm about it, but I just wasn't ready.
Okay, I think this character could potentially do well against Banjo. Like, not really a character known for his offstage presence, but not a bad offstage presence either. Like, he's got 3 jumps, he's got an okay recovery, and we could see them go toe-to-toe with super armor in the form of Wonder Wing versus Max Smash Attack. So, I don't know. This is going to be weird for sure. But so far, the one Doctor not having things go his way. I don't know if this was the prescription.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't have insurance. I haven't quite been to the doctor in some years, but if I was prescribed some Little Mac, I wouldn't really know how to feel. I'd be like, "You sure?" Because there's other characters, but I mean, you know what though? Let's be real. Little Mac gets me hype. Oh no.
Right through the Wonder Wing with the KO punch too, which is crazy because like Wonder Wing, I think it's like 18 frames before the super armor comes out or something. So if you make that call out, if you're that guy in the moment, which clearly the one Doctor was the one guy right there, then you can make some magic happen and just completely catch him off guard. Wow, 62% of extra credit since respawning. What are you doing? Charging up the neutral B? I know you can shield cancel it, but like you never see that move. What is going on?
I'm from Nebraska. We got quads here. I've seen a lot of Mac, but this Mac right here, the one Doctor is bringing something fresh to the game, and I'm liking it.
All right, we see that super armor war right there. It looks like the one Doctor did connect with him too, but just got tanked by Wonder Wing. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Banjo and Little Mac as the anchors for their respective teams. I can't believe it. What are you doing? Going off stage with side B. It doesn't put you in free fall in this game.
Jolt Haymaker is crazy to do it. Doesn't it have, it's like invincible or somewhere like on the punch or the startup. It's something crazy like that. Like that move is actually kind of a thing now.
Yeah, it is scary for sure. I don't know the specifics behind it, if the mechanics have been changed. Oh my God, look at them tanking each other's moves. Well, really just Little Mac tanking the Wonder Wing. Oh, you can't block that! Get that shield out of here, bro. Oh my God, a 2-stock return victory from Western Colorado. After losing by 2 last week, they are back with a vengeance, baby.
My goodness. And I was thinking how that match was going to go, like right when it said start, and a lot of it really came into reality. And I didn't want to commentate or curse anything, but I was like, we need Grenade to convert, but Smash attacks eat Grenade. That just gives him more meter. And then, like, you can't trade. I mean, as great as Banjo's normals are in certain situations, you don't want those Mac problems. Like, what do you do? That was crazy.
Man, what an unexpected outcome. Not just Little Mac instead of Snake, but also a W from Little Mac, and a pretty convincing one as well. 2 KO punches in pretty much the same spot on the stage as well. I'm still kind of reeling from that one, man. That was very, very wild to see. And congratulations to Western Colorado, man, making that run back happen. They said last week that they weren't satisfied starting off with 2 losses on their record, and not only did they put up a W for themselves, but it was against one of the teams that they lost to last week. So just call it maybe luck of the way the schedule worked, but like I was trying to look for another run back for like throughout the schedule just before. I was trying to see when 2 teams would fight each other again, and it wasn't until the last week. So this time, the immediate run back, the immediate week following, I guess they had plenty of time to study, and also it was still fresh in their heads.
Yes, most certainly. So there are their names down there: Deekster, Rick John, and the one Doctor. Wow, just a very oddly composed team. Like, I'm looking at the starter and the anchor, like, okay, we fight for a little bit, then we have that the ace in the sleeve, that one move. But then you got Falco in the middle. That's like, I don't really have that one KO option, but I can put on a percent, I can milk a lead, and I can make it very easier for whoever comes after me. And I think, looking at what the one Doctor, right? I mean, look, Max, the Doctor was in office All right, he was just doing his damn thing.
All right, so guys, we're gonna cut to a quick ad break, and then we're gonna be back with, I believe, an interview. Don't quote me on that. But most likely an interview, and then also, of course, our 8 p.m. match, which is going to be between Campbellsville's varsity team and Montgomery County. Definitely two of the most anticipated teams. We already saw Campbellsville's B team take a win today, and Montgomery County, as I've mentioned before, they were national champions in Smash 4. So definitely kind of a legacy Smash school. You know, a lot of strong players in that area. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back very shortly, and there's plenty more Collegiate Smash to come.
This is how Zero Eyes works. We take the video feeds from your existing video cameras and process each feed frame by frame and ask one question: is there a gun in this image? We use cutting-edge graphics processing units with our algorithm to make this determination in real time. We also use human verification so no false positive is ever sent. Our operations center makes the determination whether a gun is real or not. If there is a real gun detected, we send out alerts in real time. It takes about 3 seconds from the time a gun enters the frame of a camera to the time an alert is sent. First responders on scene have access to this information before shots are fired.
I'll take it. All right. And we are back. Thank you guys for sticking with us. And thank you to the one doctor for joining us. Congratulations on clutching that one out. Dude, the Little Mac, where did that come from?
Well, I mean, so funny part is that my name is actually Mac, and I'm kind of a short guy, so that was probably where it first started. And then when I went into Ultimate, like I didn't want to depend on Little Mac, so I decided to pick up a character in the complete opposite spectrum, which was my Snake last week.
Mm-hmm. So it's more like, where did the snake come from then?
Yeah, exactly. Like they kind of came hand in hand. Like Little Mac was like the first character I thought was fun when I started playing the game, and then I found out he was bad. So, one thing led to another.
Gotcha. So you started with Ultimate, or you played Little Mac in Smash 4?
I used to play Melee. That was kind of my intro, and I was Peach main back in Melee, and then in Ultimate, I felt like they kind of changed the characters around a little bit, and it was a new game, so I thought I'd pick up a couple of new characters.
Yeah, no more crouch cancel down smash.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. All right. So let me ask you this really quick. Who decided the order of characters, like, or the order of player on the team? Because like I on paper thought Little Mac as an anchor, but then I thought, well, wait a second, Little Mac with enough momentum played properly as the anchor on the team could really screw up some lives.
Yeah, exactly. So our first order, we put in Owario, Deegan, because we thought, if anyone can get like an early game, early set advantage, it would be him. Falco just seems such a good, well-rounded answer to anything for round 2. And then it was kind of like the fact that I could go between Snake or a Little Mac, because Little Mac, I mean, he can make a comeback, and Snake, if you give him like a one stock advantage, you can just grind it out. So it was kind of like the ability to switch between the two.
Oh, I see. And I'm just thinking of like, character types change the giving the situation or whatever. Like, for instance, like, you said there's Snake, but then today you play Little Mac for a completely different reason. But I'm like, I don't care what the situation calls for. I'm going up against a Little Mac and they have armor, and a KO punch, and their smash attacks can eat grenades, so they're getting more meter. I am in trouble. I'm in some real trouble here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's. Go ahead.
I just lose a lot as Lomac when I depend on him. It's like the fact, like when I did like single tournaments, I would start off as like Lomac to like feel out the opponent, and then half the time I would just like lose horribly because I just get gimped or something.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because the Aces series is using a bit of a different character counterpick rule set, right? Like previously in collegiate crew battles, you'd have to declare your character beforehand, but now for this, you can counterpick, which I think actually changes the meta quite a bit. And that, was clearly reflected in your gameplay since you play 2 characters, right? So I think, was it something like you saw Banjo and you're like, oh, this character doesn't really get me, I'm just going to go Little Mac, or maybe it's annoying for Snake? Like, what was the thought process behind deciding to use Mac for that last game?
Yeah, I did not like that matchup as Snake at all against Banjo. I feel like Banjo is at like his strongest when Snake is at his weakest. So I thought, he's getting ready for a Snake. He's probably been practicing. Let's see what pure close range does.
Yeah, I think it's super cool.
Yeah, for sure. And you implemented a lot of different, and dare I say risky. I mean, I guess risky is very subjective, but I'm seeing Jolt Haymaker at the ledge. And obviously, Matt can act out of that in this game. I'm also seeing like neutral special at the ledge and stuff too. I'm like, wow. I mean, either he is just confident, or the element of surprise plus it being Little Mac and just everything else is really coming out to aid him. But like your gameplay, very, very ballsy stuff, and I like it.
Yeah, that's how I like to play Little Mac. I'm like, it's gonna be a double-edged sword. Might as well just cover the most random, as many options as I can. Just take advantage of hyper armor as much as I can.
Yo, very solid job though, man. Congratulations on you guys getting very solid not job, just a win, though, man. But a revenge win. You guys getting over St. Francis. I mean, you guys did take a 2-stock loss to them last week, and now you took a 2-stock win over them. So clearly something's working. I like the character roster changes. Deezer going with Wario instead of K. Rool last week, right?
Yeah, like Wario was like totally his main, but see, he just wasn't comfortable playing him online yet. And I'm like still really happy with. I think we did really well last week too, because on this team, like this is kind of our first real competition online, and I think that was a really good first start. And we after that loss, like we learned where we were weak, and we were like, all right, next week we got a redemption match.
Hell yeah, definitely a sort of fortunate way that the bracket shook out for you guys, because the rematches are not all necessarily so close within the season. So I think that's kind of a cool bonus of the 12-week league that we're doing here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that run back could come like at a random time, just depending on the way that the schedule shakes out. So again, congratulations to you guys. Very well played. Love the Little Mac, and can't wait to see you guys play some more. It looks like you're up in the 8 p.m. slot, or rather 8 p.m. Eastern slot against Widener next week. So good luck preparing for that as well.
Sweet. Yeah, we're going to have to come up with some new tricks for that.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, the One Doctor. I'm the One Doctor. Once again, great job. And we'll see you on the sticks next week. And, maybe we'll catch you in chat cheering for one team or the other, or just, enjoying the action with us.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, we'll be back very shortly. We've got an 8 p.m. match coming up, so stay tuned. Yeah, plenty more Collegiate Smash action coming up tonight.